Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you how to make the best chili recipe. Since 4th of July is coming up, I wanted to share with you guys my favorite chili recipe. This is the only chili recipe that you're gonna need. And if you're having a barbecue, I like to serve them up as nachos, like a nacho / chili bar. And it's so delicious, it's so easy to make, and I can't wait to show you guys. So let's get started. So with chili, you have to have some yummy melted cheese. So I'm gonna go ahead and grate some sharp cheddar cheese. I've actually made this chili recipe for a few gatherings, and it's just one of those fun dishes that everyone loves. And if you are planning to have it during a gathering, what I did is I cooked it over the stove and then transferred it to a slow cooker. That way it stays nice and warm throughout the day. And when you sprinkle some cheese on top of it, it gets nice and melty. Okay, so when you get to the end here, don't try to be ambitious and try to grate it all. It's not worth cutting your finger because I've done that. Just go ahead and eat the rest. Also, another suggestion, instead of using this cheese, when I brought the chili over to my neighbor's house for a gathering, instead of using this cheese, she had one of those like large Costco size nacho cheese cans, and she dumped it into a slow cooker. So what we did is we had chips, and then we had the chili in a slow cooker, and then we had the nachos in a slow cooker, and that was really fun, and the kids also loved that. So that's just another suggestion. For the next topping, I'm gonna chop up some cilantro, one bunch of cilantro. And I know it's one of those things that you either love or hate, and I personally love it. I think it just adds some nice fresh flavor to the chili. You could also chop up some green onions if you like. I'm just gonna stick with cilantro today. I'm also gonna slice up some jalapeños for some heat. You could also serve this with jarred jalapeños. Let me just show you guys. I like to serve this also with this jalapeños that I got from Trader Joe's. They're hot and sweet jalapeños if you like that sort of flavor. And if you have a local Trader Joe's, it's really good. But for today, we're gonna use fresh jalapeños. And I also like the texture of these fresh jalapeños. And for the last topping, I'm gonna serve it with some sour cream. My hubby just loves sour cream with this chili, and it just adds a little bit of that creamy, fresh flavor. Okay, so now that we have our toppings all nice and prepped, I wanted to go over some other ingredients that we're gonna be needing for our chili. And that's some diced onions, some ground beef, some cumin, this is cumin, some chili powder, some garlic, and then I'm gonna be using chicken broth today because that's what I have on hand. You could use chicken broth or you can use beef, whatever you have on hand, it's fine. And then I have some canned crushed tomatoes, some tomato paste, and I'm also going to add some red kidney beans. I love adding beans to chili. It gives it heartiness, texture, but if you're not a fan of beans, go ahead and just add more beef to it. It'll be just as tasty. But anyways, now that we have all the ingredients prepped, let's go ahead and make our chili. Meet me over at the stove. I have my pot heated over medium-high heat, and I'm gonna saute 1.5 pounds of ground beef. I'm going to use my spatula to break down the meat, and I'm gonna cook this until it's completely cooked through. This will take about 4 minutes. After it's done cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and drain all of the excess liquid. I'm also going to add more oil along with 1 diced onion. I'm going to continue to cook over medium heat for another 3 minutes until the onions are nice and softened. Always remember to season along the way. I'm going to give everything a good seasoning with some salt and pepper. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. I'm going to give everything a good stir so that the seasonings are well incorporated. Now I'm going to add in 3 to 4 tablespoons of tomato paste, and this is going to give it some great flavor. Once that's mixed in, I'm going to add in a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I'm also going to stir in 2 cups of chicken broth. And like I mentioned before, if you have beef broth, go ahead and use beef broth, but I have chicken broth on hand, so that's what I'm using today. I'm also going to stir in 2 15-ounce cans of kidney beans. Make sure to drain the beans before you add them in. You could also use pinto beans or black beans if you prefer. I just love these red kidney beans. And make sure to give everything a good seasoning of some salt and pepper. I'm gonna bring everything to a boil, and then I'm gonna lower the heat to medium-low, and then I'm gonna cover it with the lid partially and let it simmer for about 30 minutes. And also make sure to stir at the halfway point. This chili recipe is so delicious and comforting, and it's made with the simplest ingredients. And honestly, this is the only chili recipe that you'll ever need. It's been simmering and it's looking nice, thick, and delicious. But if you want more of a thinner consistency, go ahead and add in more chicken or beef broth. We are ready to add in all our toppings, and as always for you guys, I have the full written recipe below. Our chili is all through cooking and it is looking so good, you guys. And there's two ways to serve this up. You could either serve it as a soup or as nachos, and today I'm gonna show you both. And for the chips, I personally like tortilla chips. I get these organic blue corn tortilla chips from Trader Joe's. And my son, and I know a lot of other people like to use these corn chip dippers. These are basically Fritos. This goes really well with the chili. At church, they actually had the small Frito-size bags of chips, and what they did is they scooped some chili over, opened up the chips, you scoop some chili, sprinkle some cheese, and they're called walking nachos. But that's just another idea. But anyways, let's go ahead and serve this up. So for the soup, I'm going to just put some into a bowl, and if it's thicker than you like, you could also add more chicken stock or beef stock to make it more of a soupy consistency. And for our nachos, what I'm gonna do here is put some on the bottom of a bowl, and then I'm gonna scoop some of that chili over the top. Okay, so while it's hot, you wanna sprinkle the cheese so it gets nice and melty. And that's when a slow cooker is nice to have, because it'll keep it nice and warm. That way, when you scoop it, the cheese will be nice and melted on top. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go in with some sour cream. And then I'm gonna sprinkle it with some cilantro. And then our jalapeños. And if you are gonna eat this as a soup, you could always just crush some tortilla chips right on top. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is looking so good. I can't wait to dig in. Okay, tell me which one you guys rather have, because both are looking amazing right now. Okay, so time to give both of them a taste. I'm gonna go for this one first. Ooh, the cheese is nice and melted, got a little bit of the chips. And like I mentioned before, these toppings just make the chili like 10 notches better. The cilantro and the jalapeno give it some fresh flavor. It's delicious, you guys. You have to try this. And then let's go ahead and try them as nachos. It is a win-win situation, you guys. Eat it as a bowl of chili, eat it as nachos, all delicious. Give it a try. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.